back down, 'cause I'm coming for you. Better back down, 'cause I'm coming for you.
She played the wrong one then. She was supposed to play
she's not
yours.
played mine yet.
I did
I
have
know.
I played the wrong one. Jordan hasn't finished yet.
What do you mean
right,
mine's not
okay,
finished?
well,
You already showed me mine, didn't you?
Have I got yours?
Yeah, you showed it me at your house. What a great way to start the laugh. And hi, Maya, by the way. I can see you in the corner.
No, I showed you one that Great Bit was working on, but he's not happy with it yet.
Oh. Well, it's alright. Well, what a way to start it off. Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get back on topic a little bit here then. Today, when the video is more about the system what we're in today, where you basically bullied into certain political beliefs and all. It's you're pressured into following the crowd effectively. If not, there's the consequences. So it's something I'd raise a bit of awareness on and have a bit of a discussion on with Paul here. So, is there anything you'd want to say in it before I say anything, Paul, or what?
No, you crack on, Bone, and I'll just jump in when I come in. Yeah.
Right. Well, I can't do all the talking. You've got comments a bit here and there, but yeah. Basically, the main problem that I have is that everyone's in this day and age, everyone just bullies people affected to certain political beliefs. For example, if you don't support BLM, for example, these days you get told you're racist because you won't attend the Black Lives Matter demos. That's not really accurate. Well, it's how the system works. In the education system, similar. If you believe certain beliefs, you're bullied for it. For example, in the Brexit campaigns, for example, another example, there was a lot of situations where if people supported whatever side they did, there's people being actually kicked out of their homes because of the fact that they had a different political belief. Because that was an area where a lot of families, for example, had divided and got divided. So, yeah, it's a serious issue in this country. It really is. So it's something that I think we need to work on.
Absolutely. Yeah, because where the media doesn't help, though, neither does it. Do you know what I mean? They try and push out the left bullshit.
Yeah, well, that's the problem as well. Linking to the media, all it successfully does, the media, is encourages hate. It talks about hatred and racism and divide, but the media is one of the main things pushing this divide, pushing this split between people, all for the sake of getting views, causing absolute chaos. All the media's done lately, for the last good century or so now, more or less, I'd say. It's got worse and worse over the years, of course. But it's successfully done, I'd argue, is make things worse. I mean, you've seen the comments that the media's come out before, where it just pushes propaganda, where it just pushes certain beliefs. And when you force these type of beliefs on people, it's not encouraging anymore. It comes to a point now where you force beliefs on people, where as I said, if you do not support a certain ideology, then you're automatically a racist or a sexist or an Islamophobe or whatever. You can't criticise anything without being called for it. You can't have a different opinion without being shamed for it. And that's not the country that we should live in. This type of hostility should not be here. It really shouldn't.
Absolutely. Them of course is disappeared in this country completely.
Yeah. Well, this is the problem. How it used to work with democracy, of course, you had to have different points of view. You could sit in rooms and debate. For example, some of the people I've met with the political stuff I did, I founded the Leavers of Lee, the Brexiteer group for the Wigan Borough. And where I worked officer of the other Leavers groups all under Leavers of Britain, or Leavers of Bolton, Leavers of Manchester, all them lot. Leavers of Manchester was run by a member of the Communist Marxist and Leninist Party. And obviously I am the UKIP North West Youth Chairman. We have completely different political ideologies. But I've sat there with interviews with her before now. Not a single problem. Yeah. I've worked with her on events. Not a single problem. Point being, no matter what political background you're from, there's no need for this type of hostility that you have. But this is how things have gone. And I think people are starting to snap at this. This is why there is coming to some points of riots here and there. In France is a perfect example with the yellow vest that was going on. The people there have just had enough. It's not just the failed president, though. It's the simple fact that the people there just don't have a say because their opinion is ashamed upon. They get it's about more than just Macron. It's things building up over the years with that, and I'd argue that it's just built up so much now with all sorts of things where people are suppressed, where they are silenced, where they're not allowed to speak out about a variety of subjects, where they've just had enough and they've snapped. And that's why it's started to get more violent. People need to be listened to. You need to accept, as the saying goes, agree to disagree, to agree to have different points of view. But we're not allowed to have different points of view these days. You must follow the crowd, because if you don't follow the crowd, then the problem is you don't follow the crowd, of course. You know the consequences. You are then you're thrown off to the outskirts. You're thrown off as a deserter. You are completely cut off and segmented from the main groups. You're an outsider. And people just, I mean, I've had different opinions. As I said, with BLM obviously being one of the hot topics at the moment with these things. There's someone put a post on Facebook and all that. It's like, thumbs up for BLM, heart emoji for ALM, All Lives Matter. And I put heart emoji on it because it was just a basic Facebook post. And basically, they removed me off all social media and all that immediately, just because of the fact that I had that different opinion. And that's really not how it should be. But you have a different opinion now. You're not allowed to be friends. You're not allowed anything. We all have different points of view. I have a friend who I play PlayStation with. I disagree with his politics completely, but he's a big Labour supporter and all that. My MP, Yvonne Favag, I've met her before. I disagree with her politics completely. I hate her politics, Yvonne Favag. But in terms of personality, she's nice. She gets along. She's, as a person, you can talk to her fine. Sorry, I just read that comment off Maya in the corner. Me and Jordan are going out. Well, she's just told the entire live. Thanks, Maya. Love you too. Love you too, Maya.
You didn't get in there quick enough.
Oh, that's the entire world knowing that now. Well, I've lost my train of thought now. Give me a second.
That's all right. But it was like last night, like I was commenting on a post on Akka, and it was the video of Prince Harry giving it all the bollocks about BLM and stuff like that, and someone jumped on there and was like, "Oh, all the racists have come out for you, Harry." So like I'm looking at it thinking, hang on a fucking minute, no one's said anything racial at all. All they're doing is disagreeing with what he's saying. So I comments on there, and then she abuses me then because I put her straight to asking her like, basically, where's the racists? And it's like, fucking hell, like, do you know what I mean? Like, so it's what you're saying about you can't have, if you disagree with someone, they just come out with like the race card, or you're a fucking idiot, or do you know what I mean? And it's really bad. Like, instead of having debates, like you just get fucking knocked down. It's wrong as hell. Like now.
Yeah, that's again is what I was saying. Where the system where you're shamed for having certain views, you shouldn't have to be shamed for having a different point of view. We all have different opinions, and it's something we should encourage, if anything, to have different opinions, because this idea where we all have different ideas and we work together. Politics, appeasement is disastrous. Appeasement does not work, but compromise is absolutely essential. It's absolutely essential. Compromise, because you need to make sure that you represent everybody, every single person. This is why I talk a lot about proportional rep. I believe it's a better system of government where you have a say for everybody, including the parties that are less popular and the people with less popular opinions. I know some people with very unpopular opinions. I remember one guy who had a very unpopular one where he wanted to make ban all normal transport and have only public transport to save the environment and all that. And it's obviously it's not a very popular view. That it's not one you hear much. But it's an idea. We have to listen to it and consider it. And that's how it works. If you consider everybody's ideas, everybody's points of view, then that's what makes a society where everybody is represented, everyone gets their piece, everyone gets their say of how they want things. And as of their right, if you live here, you should have a right to have your opinions and say what you think is best.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. Well, you don't have that anymore.
No, you're right. Like at the end of the day, like for me, you can't educate yourself or someone else if you're just arguing constantly. That's not how education works. Education is sitting down, talking about it, taking on board what's being said, and throwing your different ideas out there. Do you know what I mean? It's like I might think something different to you, but I'll take something on board that you said. You take something on board that I said, and then we meet in the middle. Whatever, like, yeah.
Compromise to a system that works for all of us, and that's how it should be. I think that a lot of people forget one big key thing, that there's a big difference between arguing with someone and debating with someone. Debates, you say your point of view, you give facts, you say what you think's best and why you think it, you give your facts and opinions on it. An argument, this is the problem that you get now, where the people just sit there, they'll call you for your personality, everything to do with your person that you were, for the sake of just trying to destroy you in an argument. They'll make you feel worthless for your view. I mean, I've had debates with people, no problem, and that's not been an issue, of course. I have very different political ideologies. I remember when I was in Castleford, there's another member of the Communist Party. I've met quite a few members of them, surprisingly. And obviously, completely different points of view. We had a bit of a debate and all that, including the flag, about the communist emblem. He wanted that on the flag, things like that. About economic systems, obviously, completely different with UKIP's economics and the Communist parties. Completely different, obviously. But this is the thing. We debated. We didn't call each other. We didn't insult each other. That was no problem. But then, on the other hand, when I've had arguments with other people, more, for example, around my area, I just get told, well, the language, let's just say, isn't the most appropriate. I'm effing idiot. I look like... I remember there was a post, for example, recently that said I was the Harry Potter of politics and all that on the Facebook page and all that. Described it. It was supposed to be an insult. It's kind of a compliment at the same time. He's an hero, technically. So. But that system where you try and insult people, nothing to do with the political views, that's trying to insult them as a person. To try to make you feel worthless, having a different point of view, to try to shut you down, to scare you, to upset you, to deter you, and that's not, again, how it should be. We shouldn't have this system where people are scared to speak out, where they can't speak about what they want. There's no freedom of speech, there's no freedom of expression when you have this, because it's just absolutely disastrous. There's nothing democratic about shutting down every single person with a different point of view.
Yeah, no, it's quite crazy all around. Like obviously you're younger than me, so like your schooling was obviously a lot different to mine. Like back in the day with me, like even though we were being controlled, we didn't realise we were being controlled until 5 years after we'd left school, started looking into things or hearing things, like, you know. And it's mad of when you look at it. What we were taught, like especially in history is fucking backwards compared to what we've learned what history is now, like, you know. And it's a case of they teach you what they want you to know.
Our education system is. I've talked about this before. This one I'm talking a bit more about the bullying and that. I've also said you can't talk about this without talking about the media and education system.
No,
I've talked about my experience in the education system with it before. It's absolutely atrocious. Where the day where I had enough was when a teacher was given a comparison to Adolf Hitler and Tommy Robinson. Now, agree or not with Tommy, he's not an Adolf Hitler, but that's what the comparison was being on. Though that's the day I literally stood up and said he's not a racist at all when he was going on saying he was a bit racist and all that. It's just no. The tutorial that I have to do in college tutorial, you're not allowed to skip it. And
I think the problem is
that you do the same. You learn about how to report extremism. They talked about the EU, they talked about the Nazis, the new British Union, all far right groups. Well, not a single far left group was mentioned. So I'm just responding to a comment. I love you too, Maya. Yeah. Sorry, I should just comment I love you. So you know, I've got to respond. I can't be ignorant though.
That's fine. But I personally think that they use Tommy again. But by the side of the Nazis, knowing like everyone disagrees with the Nazis.
Yeah,
So to get everyone
recently a post as well that I saw on Facebook that included it said about Tommy.
Jordan,
what?
Wait for him to finish.
Sorry, go on.
That's right.
Told,
that's right. No worries, bro. But yeah. So, like, obviously, because they know everyone stands up against the Nazis. If they put Tommy in the same bracket, they're expecting everyone then to go put their fingers up at Tommy and say, "Go fuck yourself." Yeah, but like, it's only the people that can understand Tommy's story and why he does what he does. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I've said loads of times, I get what he does. I don't agree with everything he does, but that's me personally. Yeah, but at the end of the day, he's stuck to his guns for what he's seen, for what he lives through, like, you know. And the thing is, like, there's a lot of us white people, then, if you want to go down that fucking road, sticking up for ourselves, that's being abused and all that. No one was really going down the road of, like, Muslims and all that was, like, do you know what I mean? Because, like, obviously in Wales, like, even though it's happening, we don't know. Like, do you know what I mean? It's only the last couple of years that it started leaking. Obviously, England's totally different. So, like, he went down that road. Fucking so everyone started waking up and knowing what was going on in their towns or whatever. But then because he stuck just to that one side of it, he started getting labelled, yeah. And then, but that's when, like, you start being called then Nazi because you don't want other people following the same suit, because it's not the agenda of the fucking left. The left just wants fucking everything their own fucking way, like.
Yeah, okay. Sorry again for interrupting you before, by the way. I got carried away.
That's right. You go on, man.
Before with Tommy, with the comparison, it's just everyone links the name Tommy to you as soon as they can, and Tommy they link with Nazi and all. It's a perfect thing. They just link it to something negative to get the people's attention. There's a post Facebook and all recently. I think it was Facebook or something. I saw a screenshot of something in one of the groups that we're in. I can't remember which one. There's too many groups I'm in now, and there's too much messaging to keep track. As I'm sure you're aware, I can't keep track of all those conversations. That's why I missed half of it. But
it was the one the other day. The one from the
Robinson news and all that. The link with him and all that. And about I know my name was in it. Sharon Binks was in it, and I think Katie's name was mentioned in it as well. I would get the screenshot up, but I don't know where it is. So if not, I just send it through myself.
Like I was surprised that my name didn't get brought up, because my name normally as a fucking point fucking through once a month or once every 2 months, like. But luckily enough, I didn't go on the live, because it was we went down to Scumsey on Monday, I think it was. So like Phil like ended up interviewing a couple of them lads, because they were out trying to get names and all that on the protest against the street names being changed and everything like that. But because how can I put it? Because they like to debate with the left, but they go overboard. They get attacked quite a bit. So any time that you do anything with a Scumsey lot, they do bring fucking. They highlight you then. Do you know what I mean? But for the simple fact of you're there on their fucking, or they're on your platform, you know, because they're being watched 24/7, and it's fucking pathetic. The simple fact of it's like. When I started up Team Alpha, like obviously it's like a pedo hunting fucking team. They started slating me, saying, "Oh, Paul wants to get fucking followers to fucking go on the fucking to follow him on the far right." So he set up this now to make out that he's like all this for the children being abused and all, just to get the followers. And I'm like, fuck me, like none of you got a fucking clue what you're on about. At the end of the day, I was abused when I was a kid, and that's why I do what I do. But they don't care about your background. They don't care about your story, as long as they got something that they can use against you to either shut you up or break you, basically.
And this is the thing that really does annoy me. For example, because there were the posts that recently said about the officer children that and all. They're there for the children and all that, against social services and all that, being corrupt and stuff like that. That's what they're there for. And when people say that we're only there to exploit the case and all that, on the other hand, though, these are the same people who will do nothing for these kids, that won't support the kids, who won't stand up to the family courts, who won't stand up to corrupt members of the social services. They are the same people who will not support these people. So they're against us for supporting them. But they won't support them themselves, so therefore they don't want support come to these kids. So therefore they want these terrible atrocities that have happened to some of these kids and all, and some of these parents as well. They want these things to happen, clearly, because they'll stand against us, but won't stand up for the kids on the other hand. So the only people who actually properly stand up for them, they're against.
Yeah, but this is the sad thing, isn't it, Trewin? And this is when you look into like LGBT and all them. This is where you can see what they are trying to do. They're trying to make paedophilia just the norm, and it's fucking it's sickening as fuck. Like how can you make paedophilia the norm, where at the time, like, obviously it's a fucking really bad fucking thing, but then that child then has got to grow up through the rest of their life mentally fucked up in the fucking head, always looking over their fucking shoulder. Do you know what I mean? And the outcomes of it is atrocious, like, but no one gives a fuck. And if no one ever like stands up like we do, like, do you know what I mean? It would be like living over in a fucking Muslim country fucking decades ago.
Yeah. Exactly. It's things like this shouldn't be normalised, or this type of system. This is how society is now, where you have a different view, you're ripped apart, you were things that are just not right morally, which go on behind closed doors. If you try, it seems it's become normal in society. If you speak against what's gone wrong, you speak against problems in society, then you were the bad guy. Where in reality, we only want what's best. We stand up against corruption, against paedophilia, things like that. Yeah, we get told we're only to exploit. What is it else we do? This is the main thing that we focus on. One of the main things I focus on, as a matter of fact, is mental health services, because it's one of the main things for me. I do a lot for mental health. I try to do. It's a very serious matter, mental health. It really is, and it's something that I would always put all I can into. But we put things for good causes and all that. We put mental health. We put against paedophilia, for protecting children, to all that type of stuff we do. But when we do all this, we're represented as the bad guys, but we're also the only people who will stand up for these people.
I said to this, says it all in just one breath, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, you're not allowed to speak up against any of the society now of what has become normal, but this should never have become normal. Having no allowance of different views, having all this that happens behind closed doors, all the shit stuff, and there's no media on it either. The media's too busy inciting violence, causing problems between each other, causing divide across the nation. That's all the main mainstream media's doing. But I mean, I only found out about all this because of I think it was Jimmy originally that got me to the demos and all that, because I knew Jimmy from other rallies. And Jimmy, I started getting involved now. I saw Katie speak and all that, and after I heard Katie speak and all that, I did obviously look a bit more into what she did. Because she was quite a brilliant speaker. It's some of the things being talked about. I mean, Jimmy about Melanie Shaw and all that, about Katie, with all these kids taken from the families and all that. It's when you hear about all these things that have happened, and there's no mention anywhere. There's no mention whatsoever about all these things that go wrong. Because anyone that speaks out about things become victims of the system, become victims of what is modern society. And things should have never took this turn that they have.
No, and the problem is the media don't mention it because they're run by the fucking government, and they know that the government is the one that's covering all this shit up. They're implicit to it.
Yeah.
So like, because like obviously if they started broadcasting what is actually going on, then you, instead of just having a couple of thousand of us that can actually see the outer box, you're gonna have the whole fucking country up in arms because they're starting to be told the fucking truth.
Well,
so how can you keep people sleeping? You just don't tell them fuck all.
Well, this is the problem now, that you can't trust the government, you can't trust politicians. You think you could have faith in the type of systems that win, But let's look at social services. We can clearly see that social services have ruined so many people's lives. It's destroyed the lives of so many people. It really has. Social services. There's so many people who've been watching this, I know, who can relate, who social services has damaged them quite badly. You can't trust the social services here. The mainstream media, all it has done is put this country down the gutter, especially the BBC. All it's done is shove this country down the goddamn gutter. All it's done is incited more violence and divide. This is how a society is. The politicians, you can't trust a word they say most of the time. This is the problem with politicians. They lack a key element of what a politician needs to do is honesty. I'll always try and be honest if I ever am to be a politician. It's just a promise I made to myself. I never want to ever try to put faith in services like this when you've got politicians you can't trust. I want people to have politicians have faith in. This is the problem that politicians forget. It's not supposed to be strictly a politician. Once you're elected, you're supposed to be a public servant. You're there for the people. Yeah. All they successfully do is lie to the people, call the people, and force people into voting for them effectively. Because if they don't back whatever side, then there's consequences. You will be segmented as a separate section of society, and this is not right.
Yeah. The problem is, though, it's like the voting system. Like to me, the voting system is just a game. Yeah, it's a divide game. Because we know the government's not really ruling the country. That they're like the faces of the country. So when it goes tits up and people don't like what's being fucking done, then you put the blame onto them. So like when it comes to the votes, you basically getting bought into that divide game. So like, I'll vote for fucking Conservative, I'll vote for Labour, whatever. But then what it does, you start arguing with your friends, your family, or whatever, because you all got different fucking views. But once they got the key for number 10, they run the country the same as the other fucking side would, because there's only one fucking briefcase that they're fucking given, and there's only one order that they're fucking given. Do you know what I mean? It's like I can't see the top people, like fucking Soros and the Rothschilds and all that, going, here you are, fucking, we got fucking 10 fucking briefcases here just in case fucking whoever gets fucking in, like, you know. It doesn't work that fucking way.
Yeah, I agree. The part is as well, no one wants to take responsibility for the actions that have happened or everything that's happening now. That's why I don't think I'll ever end up in the position of Prime Minister, obviously, but obviously I will run for high positions as I go. I'm planning on councillor next year. To be fair, probably in the town next door, because the current town councillor actually is a reasonable job. He agrees in the more traditional Labour routes to an extent. So he does well as a councillor. So I won't stand against a good man. If I think someone's doing a good job, I won't run against him. I do believe in what's best for the country. I don't want to be a politician. I want to do what's best for this country. So I'll probably run in the town next door as a councillor, and then a few years later MP and all, and make my way through there. But if I ever get in to high positions, I always will promise that we need to be honest with people. We need to take responsibility when we make mistakes. We can't keep lying to people. We can't keep throwing the blame on others. Because when you keep shoving blame on other people when things go wrong, all it is doing, again, is causing more divide and segmenting people off to different areas of society. And people shouldn't be segmented like this. You can't section people in certain areas and all that. Where you absolutely shame the hell out of them and all that. You can't do this where people are shamed for having the point of view. If you agree or not, I mean, I completely disagree with, as I said, of the policies of the Communist Marxist and Leninist Party. I can go along. Lib Dem branch, I don't like Lib Dems, but the Lib Dem branch in Leigh, I don't like Lib Dems one bit, but I've met the members of the branch in Leigh. Some of the only ones I'm alright. We had a debate, we had different opinions, and at the end we were both getting a bit frustrated, and we just both agreed, well, we got different views, so what? And that's how it should be. Completely different views, you get a bit frustrated, agree to disagree, and leave it be. That's all it should be. There's nothing really that complicated about it, but this is how it's come to be, where it's a giant circle. It's not that hard. But it's become to a point where it's overcomplicated more than it needs to be.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, it's like this BLM fucking stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's been so many debates, like out on the streets of real talk, but you'll never see that on the news. All you see on the news is the violence the defacing of the monuments. Yeah, and it's there to divide fucking people. It's there to fucking anger people. It's there to cause a fucking riots.
Yeah,
and until people start it. No, what?
They incite the violence.
What were you going to say?
That's all I'm saying. They incite the violence in the first place.
Yeah. Of course it is. Do you know what I mean? It's bullshit, like. Because the more that we play their games, then the worse the country becomes.
Yeah. The media is a very good thing that you brought up before, as I said, because the media is one thing that really does push it. It's not just the education system that does it. The education system does a lot, I won't deny. It indoctrinates so many, but the media is the main divider of it, where you split the sections off. It's something that segments people in society. For example, the people who defend monuments immediately far out, because we all get associated with one or two members of the DFLA, football lads or whatever. One or two of us one or two of them will act a little off, and next thing you know, we're all associated with them. They said that we shouldn't. For example, this is the thing that annoys me as well with the hypocrisy of this. For example, Islam, for people who criticise that, you get told not all Muslims are bad, and I agree, not all of them are bad. I believe the majority of any religion, race, or ethnicity are good, but but you'll say that to me, but at the same time, for example, if BLM, one cop does that, and then the entire police are bad across the entirety of the world. And that's the hypocrisy. I hate hypocrites. I've said it before. I don't like hypocrisy. I don't like it one bit. And that's how they are. They'll say one thing and then do the absolute other.
Yeah, no, because like it's like me. I got ACAB on my fingers, so every time I see a cop, they go, "Oh, we're all fucking bastards, are we?" But then the reason I got it on my fingers is it's a conversation starter, yeah. So like, cause obviously for what I've gone through and everything like that, like obviously the cops that was dealing with the case, to me, are fucking assholes. But when I see cops now and like they look at my hand, straight away they're on me, like, you know. So then I can tell them my story, and then like 90% of them steps back, mate, and you could see them going fucking white, like, you know, and they're like, fucking hell, I was really sorry to fucking hear that, blah blah blah, you know. And they're like, what do you still see us all as bastards? And I'm like, well, no, I'd never seen you all as bastards. But then the day, if I didn't have that on my fucking fingers, we wouldn't be having this conversation now, yeah. And that's what. So like, it goes down to the education side of it again. Do you know what I mean? Because without conversation and talking to each other, you can't educate fucking people, yeah. Yeah.
Well, people don't want to sit down and talk. They just want to spout their piece, and then when you say your piece, though, they don't want to listen. That's the issue. It's important that we listen. It doesn't matter if you agree. Agreeing or disagreeing doesn't matter. Well, what is essential is that you listen, and that's what we need to do. I've heard demos and that before. I don't agree with the main demos and all that, but I have gone over to them before and all that. And well, I've had to take off anything patriotic because they go mad at you, but which is quite upsetting. But it is how it is. You've got to blend in with a crowd, and I've done so. And I have seen their point of view, and I do get where some of them are coming from with what they want and all that. And I understand some of them have genuine reasons why they want to remain in the Brexit campaigns, for example. I understood that. Some people generally had the reasons why they had the points of view of what they thought was right. I have no problem with that. Obviously, we have different opinions on how things should be. I've no issue with that. But when you've got people where you can't do this, you can't do that, again, it keeps going to the same cycle where it's not how it should be. It just cycles around constantly, and this vicious cycle we're in needs to stop. Society needs to change on this matter. So much wrong right now in this world, especially in this country. This country's gone a very bad place for quite a while now. We can't dispute that. It's getting worse things around here for a long time. And
like it started off really slowly. The last couple of years, it's just fucking rapidly just gone fucking nuts, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like someone's there with a fucking pitch fucking fork and pushing it all to fucking happen in one shot, like.
Yeah, well, it's been slowly happening for so many years over time. I mean, with the education system, for example, when I did the video with Sharon, I did a video with her. She talked about the education system there. She talked a little bit about how she saw very small changes coming slowly, and that's how they've done things. Slowly over time, but now they've increased the pace, obviously, over the last few years, I'd argue. With everything going on, they've absolutely hyped up some things and all that, and it's caused so much divide. Brexit campaigns, they hyped the hell out of that. The George Floyd death hypes the hell out of that and all that. And just once they've got all this attention and all that, they get all these views, they get all the money from all the views. They've got what they need to do. They've done their part. They don't care where the country's gone, what the damage they've actually done. They don't care whatsoever.
Yeah, no, exactly. Twats.
Carl Benjamin used a similar quote. Smear merchants, he referred to them as, for what they do. The media, where they basically call people and all that. They absolutely destroy someone's name and smear them all over the place, and then they make money off it. And that's what they do. They destroy people. They ruin people's reputations, ruin people's lives to make money.
Yeah. It's like that kid that done the airplane with White Lives Matter. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
like the OB fucking arrests him. Then lets him go because they got nothing on him to fucking keep hold of him. Told him that he did nothing fucking wrong, but then a couple of days later, then he gets sacked. His missus gets fucking sacked. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
the poor kid now, he's going to struggle. He's going to struggle now getting a fucking job because he's been plastered all over the fucking newspapers and all. And it's like, fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? Just then the day. Even though we all know, like, fucking as soon as you say white lives fucking matter, you're fucking racist. But then what's the difference with saying black lives fucking matter? There ain't no fucking difference. But then we're taught that football's no place for fucking politics. But then they put fucking black lives fucking matter all over their fucking tops. They get and fucking kneel in. Well, hang on, you've just shown the whole fucking world the fucking football is fucking run by politics now. So
well done to the footballers who didn't bend the knee for that as well. Cause I saw the images of the ones who didn't. Well done to them.
Yeah, no, definitely, and it's nice to see that they're standing up now that they're realising who is behind fucking BLM. But to me, the damage is already done. Like, I'll never go back to fucking football. Football can go fuck itself, like, do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, fucking when I brought DFOA fucking to Cardiff, out of respect, I never took fucking a DFOA flag to fucking Cardiff or fuck all. Even though DFOA ain't really politics, it's still under the politic fucking bracket.
Yes.
So I never done that. For the fucking fact of, I was told since I was fucking little, politics got no place in fucking football. And then you put the biggest fucking thing of fucking politics into fucking football. And it's like, go fuck yourself, Ed. I'm not dealing with fucking that bullshit. If you want to play them games, you won't get a penny out of me ever again, Mike.
Well, it goes back to the hypocrisy I said before, where one group has one set of rules and a different set of rules for another group. That's the complete thing. For example, if you showed up with all the BLM, you want to bend the knee, that's fine for some people, apparently. But you said that's fine. But if you come with White Lives Matter, it's not. Personally, in terms of White Lives and Black Lives Matter, I would never display either side's White Lives or Black Lives Matter because they all matter. I just put all lives matter because I don't make it about race. As Morgan Freeman said himself, I'll get the exact quote up here. I've got it on my phone now because Morgan Freeman did it perfectly. How do we stop racism? Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man. I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. Stop referring to people as white or black. No one cares. Yeah. We're all human beings. We're all people. Morgan Freeman said it absolutely brilliantly when he talked about racism with that. Stop referring to him as black. He'll stop referring to you as white. Leave it like that. That's how it is. All lives matter. All lives are equal value. I mean, the situation with BLM, in terms of that, for example, with all the hostility that's come from it anyway, it's not even due to racial reasons that it was killed strictly. We don't know. It was even racial. It could have been because if a white guy kills a black guy, doesn't mean it's racism. A black guy kills a white guy, doesn't mean it's because of racial reasons. There's no way to prove it was for racial reasons. The media's hyped it up, caused a bunch of violence to try and get Trump unelected. Because coincidentally, this is all blown up right near the US election times, isn't it? Coincidentally.
Yeah.
It's just for the sake of inciting more crowds.
Yeah, but it's like Tupac said. Then they try and tell us that the white man's our enemy, but then it's us killing each other fucking on the streets. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I was younger, that's all I ever used to listen to was fucking Tupac, Ice Cube, fucking, do you know what I mean? And you listen to their lyrics now, and it's like fucking wow, like, do you know what I mean? Because they were preaching back then exactly what we're seeing fucking now, like. It's absolutely fucking crazy.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's quite sad though. This just should have never become the system that we're in today. We need to change that. We do need to change that. This system is just not acceptable. We can both agree on that. That this should have never been how things went. And I don't know how we've allowed this to happen. They've done it so slowly. So many people still haven't noticed that this is how things have happened. The people, because they do it so slow. Some people are waking up clearly. More people are waking up lately, I argue. Numbers are changing. Look at the governments that are getting in the US and the UK and all that. It's changing. But when the same type of people who do these type of things, who incite this type of system, are the ones normally at top, who we can't remove, who we can't deal with. The people calling the shots are the ones who want to remain in power, who can divide us. Because if they know, if we unify, if we all work together, that we will win. And that's why they cause the divide, not to remove them from power, to ensure that they stay in power. It's disastrous. The amount of corrupt police commissioners still in right now, and the amount of members of social services that should not be in the job, the amount of people in there are absolutely ridiculous. There's very few social services that are actually can do what they're supposed to do. Because a lot of them, obviously, with Child Matter Officer is one of the main things it deals with social services and all. That's why I tell you I've got them while on here. Because it's something that doesn't get talked about enough. But you can't talk about these things, because when we've talked about them, you've seen what happens. We get told we're just exploiting a campaign. But again, who else stands up for these type of people? No one.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, the satanic fucking movement, it goes so fucking high up. And this is another reason why fucking they gag the fucking media in so many fucking ways. Because if the media starts fucking saying about Tom, Dick and fucking Harry out on the fucking streets, then they got to take it to the next fucking level, which is like fucking, and then the next level, do you know what I mean? And then before you know it, their own fucking people are going to start getting fucking arrested. The people are going to start looking into them. They're going to start looking into the royal family. Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? And it just escalates. And then before you know it, the people that's been telling us what the fuck to do for so many fucking years are fucking out like. And this is what they don't fucking want.
As Georgina just said in the chat over there, that now we're in lockdown, people have had a chance to look into things themselves a good amount. And that's quite true. It's people have a chance now to look into it. I'm just hoping they've looked in the right place. The problem is, for a lot of people my age especially, all the news they get is off a friend of social media or whatever someone's posted on social media. And social media is a very dangerous thing, obviously. So many times you see quote boxes reworded for what someone said and all, make them look bad, say things like that, shared all across social media. This is why if I ever do watch news, I normally prefer to watch it live, because I can see word for word what they say. If not, then, for example, the BBC with Trump, they reworded it and all that, of what Trump actually said about that bleach thing and all that. They reworded it and all that. They edited it to completely reword what he said to make him look like a bad person. And it's done like that. It's inciting violence, causing divide. And the system now, where I've even heard people say, where everyone who voted for Trump is an idiot and all, you're calling more than half the country there when you do things like that. It's disastrous.
But this is how easy it is to manipulate the fucking everything now. Like, especially with social media, all you got to do is pull a fucking video. 2 minutes, 3 fucking minutes. You've changed that whole fucking video to something to fucking suit yourself, like.
Yeah, this is the danger of it. Social media has been one of the most dangerous things that you'll ever get. But again, the rules for social medias and that are very biased. I mean, how many people I'm showing that? I'm sure quite a few of you have been kicked off Facebook at least once before now for something you posted.
Yeah.
I know that's quite common for a lot of people. Surprisingly, I haven't. Yeah, I've just had warnings. I've not had my account took down yet. And I've had a Facebook page pulled down before because I already knew I couldn't put pictures of Thomas, so I didn't do that. I put a picture though. Do you know Avi, the Australian? His name's Avi. He's kind of like an Australian Tommy, basically. Put a picture of me and Avi on my Facebook page, and Facebook removed my entire page for about 24 hours, and then it gave me a page back. Took that picture and it took a bunch of other pictures from protests and all that. There's one picture I've re-uploaded it now and it's still there so far. It's still been there for a good month or so now. But there's a picture of me and the grooming gang stand and all, saying about how many children and all that were raped under the Manchester police and all that, and it's billboard stand and all that. I'm not sure if that's that picture's on my my section of the website, Children Matter News. I'll have to look into that. There's a picture of my son and all saying against the grooming gangs, and all it was facts about how many people were raped, and the Manchester police did nothing. And that got pulled down, for example, just to start raising awareness for grooming gang victims. And this is how it works. People are set to speak out about all these issues, but when you speak out, for example, Ellie, Justice for Ellie thing, she spoke out, and what's happened to her for speaking out, for saying what's happened, for using her freedom of speech? Absolutely disastrous.
Yeah.
It's absolutely atrocious in every way.
She's going down the same road as fucking Melanie and Jade. I mean, that's obvious now. Like they really wanted to fucking be quiet. Like
it's not just that though. I mean, Melanie Shaw, Carl Woods, people again speak out. Consequences. You can't speak out about anything anymore because you can't have an opinion. Can't talk about issues, and if you like what someone says or not, they have the right to that opinion, and that's how it should be. That is how it should be. You have the rights to whatever opinion you want, and you need a bit of constructive criticism and argue as well. Because if we're not able to criticize things, when you censor, like, you can't say that, you're not allowed to have this belief, you're not allowed to say that belief, but he's allowed to have that opinion, but you're not allowed to have that opinion. This is why I'm pro free speech, because if you agree or not, who decides what you can and can't say? This is the danger of it. The people who get to decide what you can and can't say, who you can and can't criticise. It's effectively a system it's like the systems in Thailand, where it's actually in Thailand, if you insult the royalty or talk negatively about the royalty, you can be that's a crime though. If you talk negatively about in Nazi Germany, if you talk negatively about the Nazis, or if you criticise Hitler and all that, you could be sent away to a camp for it. This is the system how it used to work, and it's a dangerous road. Obviously, we're nowhere near that path yet, but you've got to think for the future, no matter what, and you've got to see if things are slowly. You get punished. You can already go to jail for hate speech and all, for having opinions. Some of the opinions that are hate speech, I'd argue. Some are just not very nice opinions, maybe in some points. Some are just generally criticising a group because of the fact of statistic evidence, even. But you can actually have consequences for that. You can lose money. You can have jail time, and obviously that affects your employment quite badly as well. I mean, the guy who was talking about before, from what the White Lives Matter plane, he did that. He was restrained for all doing that. He was after restraint. Obviously, he's lost his job and all that, as you said. I know he's lost his job. Did you say his wife lost her job as well? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, his girlfriend lost her job as well, but it's the same tactics. They all fucking play. Like even the OB plays the same tactics. So say if there's like 5 of you in a group, and they want to shoot you up, they'll always grab one of you to handcuff straight away, and leave the other 4 fucking handcuffed. But what it does is the other 4 then are looking at you being handcuffed, and straight away you got them mentally. Yeah, because they're thinking, fuck, I don't want to fucking be handcuffed and fucking nicked. I'll play along with this and be fucking custody. Yeah, it's all psychology fucking mechanism, right fucking through, like.
Yeah, this is, as you've just said it perfectly. People are forced to be sheep in the crowds. This is the problem. We have too many sheep who will just follow the crowd for their own safety. And put simply, it's as easy as this. If I am going to fail, then I'm going down fighting with my fuse. I know there's consequences of what I do. We all do. We all take a risk with what we do here. We all know the consequences of society for what we do. But we do it anyway because it's the right thing to do. We need to speak out. We need more lions, less sheep, more lions. We need people who stand up. And people have been suppressed too long, and I'm hoping that more people will stand back.
Yeah, and the thing is, like you said about this fucking pandemic, like it has worked to a fucking degree of getting people to do a bit more research. There's a lot more people waking up. But like my biggest question is it worked enough to get them actually off their fucking settees and out on the fucking streets? Because that's where we need them. Like staying on their settee behind their fucking keyboards, giving their fucking lads is no good. We need the fucking percentage out on the fucking streets, and then fucking take it from there, like, because without the numbers, we can't fucking move fucking Parliament. Do you know what I mean? And that's what needs to be done. Is we need fucking Parliament fucking to be turned around and put the common fucking people back in fucking power.
Well, basically, it's pretty much as you said, yeah. But I think the big problem with that, though, as well, if people like us are caught in the crowds that we get involved with, it's much more likely for the people who support our type of ideology to have the consequences of job loss, things like that. For example, White Lives Matter. For what he did with that plane, he lost his job and all. He had those consequences just doing that. People joining our crowds and all, seen in a picture, you know the consequences. I was warned in college and all that. One of my college teachers actually warned me at one point about what I do and all that, and be very careful, and it's going to affect me. It kind of really affect my employment. And he did support me and all. He's just saying be careful and all. I would like to do. I don't want to do because I'll leave the job and all that if I could. And that's the thing. You can't speak out because of the jobs and all. They don't want to lose. But if you, for example, if you did Black Lives Matter on a plane, on the other hand, you wouldn't lose your job. If anything, you could possibly get a promotion for that. You'd be celebrated in newspapers and all. Completely different rules.
Yeah, but there's a couple of people being promoted, in it, for backing BLM up. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's absolutely fucking crazy how there's different fucking rules for one and a different rule for another. Like, you know, where like we said fucking earlier on, saying White Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter, that it's the same fucking bird, fucking just different fucking wings, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's different colour though. So you'd argue this is the problem. I think people do fail to understand a very big issue here. Racism happens both ways round. South Africa, for example, the white people there suffer a lot of racial abuse in South Africa. There's quite a lot of it going on, and it never gets talked about. But is there anything being done about that? No. We need to. If you want to stop racism, the message that they're doing in Black Lives Matter isn't the best message to do. They should emphasise all lives matter, and that they should need to emphasise on the equality and one rule of law for all. That's what they need to do. But what they're doing, it's nothing about equality. I mean, for goodness sake, bending the knee. When you bend the knee, it's a sign of showing supremacy to someone else. When you show supremacy to someone else like that, there's nothing effective about that whatsoever. There's nothing about equality by bending your knee to someone. Very few occasions that are worth bending your knee towards. And the movement like that is
it's like these fucking videos are going around. Like you've got the couple of fucking women fucking kissing the black man's fucking boot. The fuck is all that about? Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
I don't know. They're just human fucking beings.
Yeah, all colours on.
I mean, like they're human fucking beings. Yeah, but it's nuts. Absolutely fucking nuts. Like I watch them fucking videos. I'm shaking my head, thinking, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you know.
I've seen a lot of pictures now. There's one, as I was saying, they basically got like a leads on and all that around them, and like a collar, and then they're all attached to a lead. There's like 3 white people in that all collars and all a lead being dragged around by some black man, and all have signs over them saying, "I'm sorry."
Can I put in quickly?
Yep.
You said something before, we've all said it before, but I'm going to highlight what you said before just because you said it. Remove a colour. Well, people being dragged around by leads by other people.
Yeah. That's the exact point again. It doesn't matter what colour it is. This is the thing that you need to stop doing, as Morgan Freeman said as well. Stop talking about colours, stop referring to it as whatever colour. Well, this is what they've started to do, where they have to segment colour. It only becomes about race when they mention race, as the case is mentioned before. It's perfectly said. Stop making about colour.
Yeah, because the interview you're on about, like, they ask him, don't they, like, what do you think of Black Month? And like he said, at the end of the day, he said, what do I want Black Month for? He said, at the end of the day, I'm American, just the same as fucking you are. He said, so it should be American fucking month, not fucking Black Month. He said, do you have White Month? And like the guy says, well, no. He said, but I'm not white. He said, I'm Jewish. He said, well, do you have a Jewish fucking month then? And the guy was like, no. He said, exactly. So he said, what the fuck do I want a black fucking month for?
Yeah, it's like, I remember that as well. It was brilliant with what Morgan Freeman did as well when he was interviewed about Black History, about making a Black History Day and all that, especially for Black History Month for America. He was asked his thoughts on doing that, and he said that they shouldn't, because Black history is American history. It's all the same history, and it's excellent. Again,
of course it is.
Stop making it all about colour. History is history. You don't have specialist histories for everyone of the country. Do we have White History Month in Britain to celebrate the white history of the Brits, and then the Black History Month the month after, and then Chinese British History the month after, or whatever, and link it like that? No, because we're all the same history. We're all part of the same society. Yes, things have happened in the past, of course, different degrees, but you've got to understand that what happened at the times was acceptable, and considering it was also after a lot of what happened in other countries. The Arabic Empire enslaved a lot of the modern European world. This is what people fail to understand. When you try to tell them facts about anything, and they they have a go at you and all that, and they don't understand. They refuse to listen and all that. They don't want to listen to information. They don't want to hear you have a different point of view. That's not what they want to hear. They only want to incite violence. They only want to push their own agenda. They want their opinion to matter. Obviously, I have ideas, of course, of what I want different in the country. I'm reasonably quite nationalistic over globalism, especially. I always do believe in my country first, but some people are more globalist and all that. It's what they want to do. They want to be more globalist. They can be more globalist. They're up to their point of view. But I always will put this country first, and we can agree to disagree on all that. But this is not the thing. We can't do that. My point of views, for having more nationalistic point of view, so a lot of them I'll just keep to myself in terms of nationalistic points of view, because of the fact that if I mention them and all, as soon as you're the word nationalist, even, right, you're a racist, don't want to hear you, and your opinion don't matter. But no one's opinion doesn't matter. No one's opinion does not matter. Everybody's opinion matters. No matter what opinion you have, if I agree or disagree, I will always hear out people's point of view. I have one guy, Sam, his name is. He regularly messages me on my Facebook page about whatever posts I make, and he normally disagrees with what I say. But we always agree at the end to agree to disagree. And that's how it should be. He's all right for that. There's a lot of people who don't. I mean, I've had all sorts of experiences. I remember in school and all, since I was a Tommy supporter and all that, took a picture of me she took a picture of me on my phone, wrote racist on it, and then put it all on social media. It also threatened to throw a knife at me. And that was inside of school. And when told the teacher about it, that in particular teacher, I disagreed with how he dealt with it, because he told me to get off my high horse and told the girl, there's nothing I can technically do, sorry. So you're not going to say anything about a girl who's literally just threatened to throw a knife at me because I had a different point of view and who I support. Bias again. Bias in education, there's bias in the social services, there's bias in the mainstream media. This bias where they push their own agenda, that needs to stop.
Yeah.
You need to acknowledge other people as well, from their point of view.
How do we like get people on the same fucking wavelength and just be able to fucking talk to each other?
That's how it should be. It sounds so simple when we say it, and it shouldn't. We shouldn't need. I mean, we've been going on now for about an hour. This conversation, and we shouldn't need to talk about this to just say we can have different opinions. But this is literally where it's gone overcomplicated this badly, because this is how people think it's appropriate to have goes at people and offer different opinions, to threaten people especially for having different opinions. mean, some of the people I've met now, as I said, are absolutely vile as hell and all. I mean, I remember one guy I was talking to him about his opinion and all that and stuff. He was a lovely man, to be fair. He was alright talking to him. And then he was in the middle of things and all that. And some woman's come over and all that who was listening in. Don't talk to him. He's a Nazi. He's got a Union Jack on because I had that flag on me. That's the type of system you have where comes over, right? He's a Nazi. Don't talk to him. That type of shame system, that type of mentality, and then immediately, obviously, that guy will have in his head, well, I don't want to be associated with a Nazi, do you? Because you don't want to be associated with them groups. And that's what they try and brand us in. They all shove us all under that segment just to try to make us look like the bad guys in the first place, make us look like the bad people. Although we're actually trying to just give our point of view and try and make things better. And we can't make anything better in this country and this world in general if we can't agree to disagree, if we can't compromise, and if we can't work together.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Using Katie's quote there, I see.
Ah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, but it's but like we're then trying to take our history away. All you're doing is getting ready to fucking repeat fucking history. You can't learn by history if there's nothing to fucking learn fucking from.
Yeah, there's nothing. You need history to remember the past. Even if you have, we all have a past. Even it's not each country. Let's talk about people in general. We all have a past, and I think every single person has made mistakes in the past, in their history, in their personal history, and in your personal history mistakes, you have learned from them. And same as principles apply with a country. We have, as a country, as a society, have made mistakes in the past. But when you remove the lessons of history, how are we supposed to ensure that we do not make the same mistakes again?
Yeah.
We cannot protect ourselves from making the same mistakes when we refuse to remember the lessons we was taught to begin with. We need these reminders, if you like them or not. I did a video on it a while back on terms of the history part of things. You can't be a better person if you don't have a bad history. I've made mistakes in my life and all that in my past. Got nothing with everyone's made mistakes in their life, that they've things to regret and that. And it's made me a better person because I know that I've made mistakes. And but if I suddenly forgot any negative experience or event that I've had, then that would mean I would have learned nothing.
Yeah.
Because I need to remember the lessons I've learned from mistakes. It's absolutely important. It's one of the most important things you can learn. It's nothing more to it. It's this simple. And I don't understand how people can refuse to understand this. And I really don't understand the logic of some people. How they can't understand that people can have different opinions, but you can't talk to these people to get their idea even.
Yeah.
Because consequences now, if you try to talk to these people even at times, that as soon as you say that you had a different opinion or anything that they class as controversial, any type of point of view you've got is just absolutely branded all over the place, your pictures shown all over, and your name's worth nothing, and all the consequences come: possible jail, possible fines, possible loss of job, loss of friends. I've lost a few friends because we're having different opinions, and it's quite upsetting because I have a different opinion that people don't want to be friends with you. It's interfered with relationships before now, where people have wanted to not really do with me because of the fact that I've had this different opinion, because I've had a disagreement over how something is. Once you're polite with politics and all that, and long you can agree to disagree, that's all that matters. As long as you're not threatening someone, as long as you're not stopping saying, right, you can't really say that, and things like that. That's why I don't like political correctness, really, because it stops free speech. And the problem is why we need this free speech as full as we can. Who gives anybody the right to decide other people what they can and can't say? If they don't want to say something off their own back in case it offends, fair enough.
Yeah.
But who gives anybody else the right to decide what someone can and can't say?
No. But it comes down to the agenda, though, Dan. Do you mean if you're not speaking about their agenda, then they want you to either shut up or disappear, because you're basically against them.
Yeah, 100%. It's there's nothing really more to it. I don't think really. I think this is more or less all we really have on this. Yeah. I think that's. Is there anything else you'd like really comment on it, or I think is that it for this video then? Now.
Yeah, no. If you're happy, bro, it's your show.
Yeah, I'm happy with it, Alan. Yeah, whenever you okay at it. Okay, so you can end the video now.
She's disappeared again.
Oh, that's not good.
She's done a Jason.
Well, we'll have to wait for a few minutes because you know, she's disappeared. Fantastic. That's all there is to it, though. It's as simple as that. The closing remark, I might as well leave a closing remark on it then. The main thing I'd encourage everybody to remember is that no matter what opinion you have, we all have the right to different opinions, and we must remember, as the saying goes, to agree to disagree.
Right. Read the fucking comments. You got in the comments. Give me 2 minutes. Not on my computer. Fucking wait. Right. I'll end it. You done?
Yeah.
Right. See you in a minute, guys. Remember, like, share, and subscribe if you're not already have done, and make sure you give the guys a thumbs up. See you next time.